All right, y'all, I'm getting started with this late season overseeding. Yes, my yard look a hot mess, but it looks great. And the reason why I'm saying that is because over the years, I have lost my entire seeded fescue lawn for years until I figured out how to do it. Now, in the past, I used to harp on, hey, you need to get your fungicide and fungicide resistant type strategies like azoxystrobin and propiconazole. That was one of the ways that I was able to fight off from losing a lot of my lawn each year. I got great at that, but there's something even better at keeping off fungus away. And that, unfortunately, for a lot of you, going to probably not believe it, is to stop putting salt on your lawn. Now, look, it's been 2 years since I've used anything on my lawn. And this is what I'm putting out right now, this Baron Brook. But this is what I put out the last time I put out fescue a couple years ago. This is what I had. I used this Titan, but both of these contain rhizominous type, turf type called fescue, and what that means is it spreads. So that's one of the reasons why I'm having some success without having any work. But when I talk about salt, I'm talking about stop putting salt. Not particularly this particular brand of fertilizers, but all other synthetic fertilizers. They are real ammonium sulfate. Those are salts. And that is what was killing the lawn or making the lawn die. And it was dying because of the fungus pressure. It's really, really hard in our area to maintain a fescue because of the humidity, the heat. Now, you heard of the 150 rule, and if you're dealing with turf type tall fescue or cool season grass, you probably are aware of the 150 rule, and that's when the heat of the day and the humidity of the day added together, if it equals over 150, that's prime fungus pressure, which is true. However, the problem is this salt is taking away your soil's ability to fight off the fungus. The fungus present in your lawn is actually an imbalance of microbes in the lawn. It gets more of the pathogens, the fungus that causes damage than the beneficial fungus. So I stopped putting salt on my lawn. And what did I fertilize with? I went with this. You don't have to go to this here. This is just what I'm using. I started with a liquid spray. I mixed this and I mix it with a couple of other items, but I'm showing you this to show you about a non-synthetic option for fertilizing your lawn. And of course, you got the cow manure or composted cow manure or just regular compost, which is what you have here. This is what I went with. And that allowed me to have a lawn that's like 70, 80% fescue over 2 years without having any type of input from me. And that was a trial and error thing that I took note of. When you look at it, you start to notice a pattern. And one of the things that I noticed is that, I have a considerable amount of lawn. My property goes all the way down there to the end, all the way down there to the end where the light pole, if you can see it from here. And of course, you got my backyard. I got the Bermuda going on right here. The grass that's out here or the lawn that's out here, I don't do anything with. I don't put any chemicals or anything. I just let it do what it do. And you got a lot of people in your neighborhood that just do the same. They just cut the lawn. You never have them with fungus issues. You never have them with like grub problems. I mean, albeit it's weeds, but they don't have bare spot. The lawn is completely covered in some type of vegetation, plants, or just grass mixed off in there. They just don't have a full 100% one type of lawn like we all desire. But however, they never have those issues. I never see any issues out here. I never see bare spots because of grubs. I never see fungus out here. And I'm calling it. It's because there's never salt put on this. There's never salt put on this, which is what your fertilizer is. Your synthetic fertilizers is basically a big bag of salt. And salt wreaks havoc on microbes. Some of the microbes hate it, but you do have a particular set of microbes that love it and thrive in it. And those happen to be your fungus. That's why they say don't fertilize your lawn during an outbreak of a fungus if you have it. Well, the fungus, some of them thrive, whereas the beneficial organisms don't. That was the issue with the Tif-Tartar fescue, and I'm telling you, I believe that's what the issue with everybody else who's running fescue across the country and using synthetic fertilizers. They do have a program where they are taking the fungus ahead of the time by putting out the fungicides and all that. And you can work, it'll work. I've proven that it'll work, that you can use the fungicides, but man, that's a lot of time, effort, and money. I personally love the fact that I didn't do too much to this lawn. And I'm going to roll with that. And some of these plants are really big and vigorous. And it's because I didn't use synthetic fertilizer. That's the case. There's no way that I should have any of this grass doing the old way that I was doing it with keeping that fertilizer that I was putting out. There's just no possible way it would have all been gone by now. So I'm in the process of getting all this stuff cleaned back up. You can see I'm waiting on the city to get the brush out. I got to get the flower beds and everything. I need to get this thing back up to running. I got my pressure washer up and running, and that I'm glad about that. So I can get all this stuff cleaned up. So we're going through I'm going through a major comeback right here. Had a lot of stuff going on, got it all taken care of. Now I'm back.